Hello and welcome to Ghost Prime Transformers Reviews. Today we're taking a look at Transformers Earthrise Commander Class SkyLynx. Yeah, this is the newest version of SkyLynx. This is a very nice figure. This is the Commander class, so this is the class above Leader class, before Titan class. So this is the same class as Jetfire was. To my surprise, the box was actually relatively small. I showed up this morning on my doorstep and I saw the box and I'm like, no, that couldn't be it. But how he was packaged, he's two parts, so they were put next to each other in the package. But it has some really good heft to it. It's got some weight to it. SkyLynx has always been a favorite of mine. Now this version of this character does not have any batteries or take any electronics, anything whatsoever. There are wheels on the bottom so it could roll, but they're not motorized. Nothing on this is motorized. I do like the fact the other ones were motorized. The original SkyLynx was made by a company called Toy Box and licensed to Hasbro. So that's how they produced SkyLynx. Now also Omega Supreme, but I couldn't find a original picture of Toy Box's SkyLynx. I can of the Omega Supreme, but not of SkyLynx. So if anybody would like to share that with me, has one of those, I would really love to see it. However, that said, this is a fantastic homage to the character, and also the best one we've got so far since G1. The Combiner Wars one was, well, lacking. This one actually, it kind of fills that need for that SkyLynx, and he's big, he's hefty, he's got detail, He's really nice. He's got some, nice clicky joints. He's a really decent figure, and he looks gorgeous. This looks almost like a third-party Masterpiece figure. It's so close. I guess for what it's worth, so was Jetfire. It is just shy of that. There are a couple things that I think that I would like to change or add, but they're very nitpicky. It's not something that by any means degrades from the actual toy. So without any further ado, let's get to the review. First, let's take a look at this packaging. So he comes in a completely solid box. He doesn't have any window. You see this beautiful rendering on the cover. Now, there's a few things I do want to point out. If I can get in close here. Look who we see there. Where is he? And there. Those are cone heads. So it looks like we will be getting cone heads. This is a really beautiful image. It's definitely something that is worthy of displaying. It's very nice. On the side, it is continued. You have, was it thrust there? And on the back, of course, you have the different modes. You have the space shuttle mode and the two different modes with Lynx Sky. And SkyLynx together, and then he actually has a base mode right here, which actually isn't so bad. The other side, you have the Earthrise art, which is the very standard art. Top is just the logos, and the bottom is just information. Would it be Earthrise not having the decoder? And here you have the planet ring and decoder for, it says Dead Universe. So this would be the Dead Universe. It's nice that it has this little cutout. Something I really wish maybe we can do, I'm not sure, I haven't checked with all the other ones, is add this so it has one big image. I think that would be very cool. And of course you have the instruction booklet, which is done very legibly and shows all the pieces, shows everything to transform it. While this actually looks fairly complicated, it's really simple to transform. It's very similar to the Generation 1, but it is a nice instruction booklet, and it shows you how it could connect with the base right there. And of course the blast effect pieces, which are very similar to Omega Supremes. And in fact, they do come apart. Also, it comes with these two guns, or towers. I'm not really sure. They look kind of like guns to me. And they have pegs on them, so you could put the weaponizers on them. And these connect pretty much anywhere where there's a 5mm peg on the figure. And of course, in the box, we have the figure. Now, he is pretty good size. He is a very, very big figure and looks amazing in this mode. He has some absolutely stunning detail work on him. Very, very nice. Has some throwbacks to the Generation 1 toy, of course, with the gold, the red. He even has, if you could get in here, gold on the faction symbols there. You can see it shine gold. He has some different color, like off-white paint. They really went to town on the detail work on this thing. It is absolutely gorgeous. See the head. Very, very nice. Very detailed. Very, very nicely detailed. All this detail on the side. I particularly love the legs. They did some excellent work. And on the wings, they really did some excellent work on this thing. So before I start getting into taking them apart and checking out everything, I'd like to do a couple size comparisons. Here he is with Siege Megatron. Here he is with Commander class Jetfire. So get the camera in the frame there. So he's a pretty good size. Now, actually, I would like to say he feels heavier than Jetfire. I would need a scale, but I do think he feels heavier than Jetfire. And here he is with Combiner Wars. Combiner Wars, come on. It usually doesn't happen, I swear. SkyLynx, so he's definitely got some size on this guy. And here he is with Generation 1 SkyLynx. So he's quite a bit bigger than the Generation 1 SkyLynx as well. But they have such a similar look. They have that same aesthetic that makes this one so good. Just a really awesome figure. Okay, let's get into some articulation on this guy. So for articulation, he is articulated at all 4 of the hips, and they go 360 degrees. He has a knee here, and it is double jointed, so it's very tough, but you can see right in there, it does bend there and there. So you get some pretty decent, turning out of this guy. He could really, really bend his knee. He also has a swivel joint there, which is a mushroom peg and can pop off if you're not paying attention. Shoulder. Very ratchety. He does have a ankle tilt and up and down, but he doesn't have any swivel at this angle, and that is one of the things I wish he had. He could get him in some poses, but he kind of looks a little awkward. My tray fell down a little bit there, so there is that. But otherwise, he does get some pretty nice poses out of this right here. His wings are articulated on a mushroom peg up and down. And they can go up like this, mainly due to transformation. The actual feather parts could go in and out like this. So you could put them out like that, or swept back. You can put his wings up, and you can put them down, like swept back like this. He's not using them at all. Very cool things you could do with it. I do wish that it had a stop here or something folded out to actually connect it, because it's just kind of sitting there. That is one thing that I wish that they would have done. The neck is on right here is on a ratchet hinge and goes up and down off that far. Each one of these are hinge joints. So there's a hinge joint here, here, and then the last one is a hinge joint the opposite direction. So this doesn't go really back and forth and snap. It's just a little loose in there, but this one goes back and snap. This one goes back and snap. So you get a little bit of like that movement. It would have been nice if it were a little bit like had ball joints or something, so it had a little bit more movement. The head is on a ball joint and can go 360 up, down that far. Jaw is a hinge, so you could open his jaw, and you could have his tongue, up and down. He is also on the same hinge. Moving around to the back, his tail is articulated via 2 joints here. So like this, and a joint at the end, and the tail could go like that. And that's pretty much it for the SkyLynx mode. So all 4 legs are the same, but you can get some decent poses out of him. He can look very nice in some pictures or just on a shelf. So to get the top part separated from the Lynx, all you have to do is there's this little button right here, and you push that down. There's a hook, and it comes right off. So setting that aside, if you look at the bottom, there's the legs. And these legs come out like that. They are on ratchet joints, as you could hear, very loud. And these are also ratchety, his feet and his claws. They open his claws up. So the articulation for the legs, for the hips, can go out. And then there's a thigh swivel. He has 90 at the knee. And I believe another swivel right there at the knee. Sorry, my hands are in the way there. And then he has ankle tilt and back and forth. And some toe due to transformation. He just looks very awkward in that with those legs. But then again, he looks awkward in the Generation 1, so it's forgivable. So to transform this into Lynx, what you need to do is take the head, to get the head out right here. You open this piece up. The head's in there. I'll fold that out, which is actually really tight. Fold that back in. And there you have Lynx. Now, what's really cool about this is even if it folds, it's still slightly articulated. It can move back and forth a little bit. This head in here can move around a little bit. Up and down, of course. Inquisitive. And he has an opening jaw, which opens up really far, and articulated tongue. So you can get a little bit of movement out of this guy. He looks very cool like this. I can't display him as Lynx, but it's a shame because it does look very good. I do like what they did with the slight articulation on the head. I think it is very welcome. So let's get on to some transformation. Let's transform this into the shuttle base mode. Not shuttle base, but the shuttle thrusters. So first thing you want to do, very much like the Generation 1, take the head, fold it under, take this panel open, slide the entire, this is on such a tight joint, head around and in, like so, tuck it under like that, close the panel. And then you take the legs, straighten them out, move the feet up, like that. Now what they have is, they see this little D looking area right here. If you look on this side, there it is right there. This goes right in like so. Now it will stay. Now you do this for all 4 legs. The points are on the back here, but it's exactly the same thing. Fold the feet, straighten out the leg, and put them in like that. And then the tail bits go around and under, and there's wheels down there. And then you'll see wheels here on the bottom of him, allowing him to roll. And for this section, what you're going to want to do is take the legs, fold the talons in, straighten out the leg, move this part, the talons back like that, and they go directly into a hole that's right there. So they just right in there and kind of stay in place. So you do that for both of them. Just like that. So you have to excuse it is very difficult to get all this whole thing in frame. So take the wing, which is out, take the wing, which is out like this. See, there's a sliding mechanism right here. Slide that in. This piece folds like so. And then there's a hinge here and here. This goes straight up and down. And this is extremely hard to do. So I'll try to get it in here to show you here. There is a tab here, and that tab's in. I'm going to do that in just a second when I get both of them done. So that tabs into this little tab right here. And that holds in fairly well. I wish it held a little better. It does have a tendency to come out, but it'll hold okay. You take the engine piece, pop it out like that, move it over. Now what this does, this actually just collapses, kind of accordions in on itself like so. So you take it and just accordions. It sits like that. Move the engine piece hinge back and snap it into place. Take the neck, head, shut the mouth. Head goes straight, down and around, and of course push it right in, snaps in place like so. That is actually the easiest thing. As you see, this wing has a tendency to pop out. Both these wings have a tendency to pop out. But there you have shuttle mode. And he looks really nice in the shuttle mode. There's just some close up on that. The NASA logo. It says magnificence on the side. Nice detailing on this. It's very nice detailing. Different kind of colors of paint here on the nose. On the side there. There's the underside. There's actually, as you can see the difference in color, that's not white, that's actually painted that color. So that's the off-white there. And there's this little hook right there. Now this is very difficult for me to get in on mine. And then there's a hook here. Also, if you would like to just land him, he has landing gear there, there, there. So you could have him put down and he could sort of roll back and forth. So to get him onto Lynx, all the landing gear must be up. And this is the hard part for me. You take it and I have to push really hard to get him in the back there. To get him actually in to stay. There. He stays pretty good. Once you have both those parts connected, it's solid. And again, rolls really nicely. Now, he does have a third mode, at least the Lynx character does, and that involves some of the other pieces. What you want to do is, of course, undo this, keep the shuttle separate, and you take this piece right here. You want to move his arms out of the way. Open up this piece here and this piece here, like so you have something that looks like that. Turn it around and you have this piece on the end here. Pull that out, and then under there's another piece for a ramp. These arms come back out like that. These other arms come up like so. His feet come up. Feet come up. So you have this so far. Now you have these little ramp pieces here that pop out. And the instructions say these things go like this. And then two of the guns here, you put like this and or like this. Now you have a ramp here also, and I have very little fingernails there. Pull that up, and then it slides like this. You take the shuttle, and I'll move it up just so you can see in here. If you see, there's 3 pieces right there that will tab into the engine. Move that like that. Open the engine doors. The bay doors here open. And there you have SkyLynx in the, I guess it's at the shuttle mode. I'm not really sure what the ramp is supposed to be. It goes into the engine bay. But one of the things I did forget to mention is there's a ton of little 5mm ports all over. So you could really use them with weaponizer carrot figures. He can connect to other base pieces via these universal Earthrise pieces here, be it Hoist or Ironworks, Omega Supreme. You could have a huge piece of base. Really very cool. He is a pretty excellent figure. He's fairly large, he's a nice size, hefty plastic, nice ratcheting. He does have a few of those little pieces that I wish were a little different. Overall, though, he's a very good figure. So for some final thoughts on this guy. So after filming, I realized I forgot to show something very important. The blast effect pieces. Now, of course, the blast effect ones could go on the shuttle, the thrusters, but this actually has a lot, especially in this mode, a lot of these appear, these little pegs, so he could be like he's being shot at. Or these guns are shooting. Did not want to forget to show this. So a lot of these appear here, which even on the side here. So like he's getting ready for blast off, and he's in a battle, and he's being shot up. Didn't want to forget to show that to you guys. And that was Earthrise Commander Class SkyLynx. Strongly advise picking him up if you can. I do believe that the pre-orders say he is due out in August or September. I was able to get this guy off eBay. He is an excellent figure to add to the collection. This wing is not super loose, but could be a little tighter. That's actually just a mushroom peg you could slide on. So it's fixable. I just wish I wouldn't have to do that. But all in all, it's a really good figure. The neck maybe could be a little, like I really thought each one of these was individual instead of just a hinge joint on each one. I thought they were like ball joints or like, something that have a little bit more twist to it. It still looks great, and he still has a lot of nice range of movement in it. So again, nitpick, not a huge complaint. Overall, very good figure. I highly recommend it. And he will look really good with the Siege and Earthrise toys on the shelf or wherever you like to display them. So please, hit that thumbs up button, hit the downvote button if you have to, and I'll see you again very soon.